Good morning, everybody. Welcome back today. This is Paul Cramey. Today, we're going to spend most of our time talking about the production cloud app, and then we'll kind of wrap up at the end of it and kind of illustrate just at a very high level how it is facilitates the overall subject of managing workflow, but doing it from either from the field or from the production area where you don't have to have direct access to, to control. There are 4 handouts that are on the website that can be downloaded. Some of you that were on the call on Tuesday should have gotten an email for 3 of them. The other one was already posted for Tuesday's session. But if you're new to the call today and weren't with us on Tuesday, I would really encourage you to download those, those four documents. I'm just going to do a real quick overview of which ones they are and what they look like. So the first one is this one. I'm going to get rid of the agenda. We don't need it anymore. This is just a high-level view of the representing the life cycle of orders, where it comes in. Order comes in, goes into the line items, kind of spins around there in the production and between the production and scheduling, and then it ultimately will get delivered. That's the concept. The handout is this one. It goes a little bit deeper. This is just my representation of how one might manage estimates in orders from a workflow standpoint. So this first page, for example, is all estimate related. Begins its life over here with a request, and hopefully ends its life as a converted order. However, you may void it or you may mark it as lost, and then the process begins down here for an order, either coming in from an estimate itself, or coming over here by a request and then flowing through the preparation and finding out requirements, etc., and then flowing on down to ordering materials, production processes, etc. This kind of will form the basis of some of our discussion towards the end of the session today. A more detailed workflow of this is on this one. Goes a little bit deeper. I'm trying to illustrate for each of the primary or department level stations where it is associated, built, sale, or combinations of all 3 of those, and then the concept of first level or second level stations associated with it. I'll load these 2 again towards the end of our time today. And then the last one is just there if there might be of any interest in it. Oh, there it is. I'm hiding some of these. Well, I'm not sure that we're seeing it, but it's not that important. It's just a tool that you might want to consider using for yourself to kind of begin to plot out what your flow might look like, or how you would like it to look. And it takes into account your sales volume and your number of employees, because that highly influences the whole production workflow process. If you're small, just 2 or 3 or 4 people in the production area, it's not that much of a big deal since to manage the workflow. So with all of that background nonsense, let's get my notes and we'll get started. I'm going to pause a few times and we'll try to get some questions in. So the production cloud app, which is the focus of our discussion today, what is it? Why use it? Who wants it? And what are the devices that you can use with that particular app? Well, what it is essentially it's a cloud-based app that users with help users with use control features from a mobile device for doing job grouping and things of that nature. So why would you want to use it? You would probably want to use it if you have if you don't have the full licenses out in the shop area, or more importantly for people that are out in the field doing installation or delivering goods that they need access to control. The mobile app provides the means of doing that. The application supports both tablets, iPhone, Galaxy, Android, and iOS types of devices. Who can use the cloud app? The mobile app, you must be using version 6.1 of Control. You'll see it up here on the control screen. You must be using 6.1, and then individual employees have to be given permission to use the cloud app. Excuse me. To illustrate that, I'm going to go up to setup, and then I'm going to go to employee setup. Then I'll expand my employees over here, and I'll just pick myself. Get into the edit mode so you can see this. No, I don't want to get into the edit mode. I'm going to come down here to the edit user, and this bottom check mark must be turned on for any individual in the shop that you want to be able to have access to the mobile app. Okay, it's very simple. Just go into the employee setup, choose the employee, go to the edit user right here, and then make sure that check mark is on for the for the app. Now I'm going to close this. I'm going to switch now to the cloud app itself. I'm in what's referred to as a developer's mode. Since I can't actually use and flip back and forth between the phone and in Control easily. So this is a tool that simulates the different kinds of devices. So I've actually set it up so that, excuse me, so that I'm emulating a 7.9 inch iPad device. Now, to log into this particular device, I'm going to log out. So you're going to get a login screen. You have to reference your business, what's called the cloud root path, to get the business name. And then you will use your same login username and the same username password to log in. So my business name is this goofy combination of numbers here. And my username is the same with -01. That's because I'm in a cloud environment and they've got me set up so that I can do this from a couple, 3 different computers, okay? Now, so that now has logged me in to the device. Now, where you find the business name in Control what you will do is you go to the help screen, about control. Let me see if I can flip back real quick to do that. You go up to help and about control, and then about halfway down, you see the cloud route path. And this is the name, the business name, then that you would use when you're logging in to the the cloud app itself. I'm going to go back over to the cloud app here. So kind of an overview of the cloud. Man alive, I don't know why I've got the junk. This is the top level bar. You can see that you have the ability to search. You can search, for orders, or you can search for estimates, or not estimates, but things of that nature. You can review your job boards, and that's kind of what we're looking at here. You can use the time clock, and then this, I would strongly encourage you, if you're not familiar and haven't used the cloud app, this help button opens up a really, really good 11-page document that, if you can, I would suggest that you download it and print it, and just keep it as a reference. A lot of the things that I would be alluding to are included in that document. And then, of course, you can log out. Come on. There we go. I wanted to get back to that page. So the time clock, this is where you would clock in and clock out. So right now I'm clocked off of the, but it shows who it is that's in that's logged in, and what the last station was that had been used. So it shows that I'm actually still logged in, to that from yesterday when I was working. So if I were to log out, I could say clock off. I could go out on a break. I could simply change the stations. So let's clock out. Now it says that the number of hours that were on that particular task, and the fact that I'm logged off up here at the top. Now, if I hit the clock on again, I can clock myself in, and I do that. Then I would pick a station. I might say, if I were starting at the beginning of the day, I might clock myself in to just a general station that's really not directly related to any kind of a production process, so to speak. You can also, if you paused, if you're going off on a break, you can resume the last job. So you can start and stop as you're working on. Someone would be working on on a particular station. So here in this large blue area, this shows what the current daily totals are, how many hours I've been logged in. And then it shows me for the week, what the time was there. And then down at the very bottom, it shows you the statistics, for the last, 2 weeks or so. So you can see a lot of historical, activity as well. Now I need to go back to control for just a bit. So bear with me because we're going to bounce back and forth a couple, 3 times. So first question is then, well, what's meant by jobs? Well, jobs are a means of combining different work-related items that are to be routed through that you want to route through the production process together. So it's a means of grouping certain things together. Now, jobs can be grouped in 3 different ways.